you have to hit all three things. You have to hit the YouTube, you have to hit the Facebook, and you got to hit the Periscope all like within a certain like sequence, because if you don't, they don't do it right. Hi everybody, this is Leslie from GoToKitchens.com. It's good to see you. What's going on with my shirt? What's happening there? It's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today on Tuesday, our first day of the week. It is the first work day here at GoToKitchens. It's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Hello Facebook, it's good to see you. Hi Periscope, thank you guys for joining us. And hello YouTube, thank you guys for being here with us today. I'm super excited about our topic today because we're going to talk about food habits, and hi, it's good to see you, Rory. Good morning to you. We're going to talk about our food habits, and we're going to talk about my top 3 tips, and I'm going to identify 3 different types of people and help you identify where you are in your thought processes about making food changes. Because if you're watching me, let's face it, if you're watching me, you are in a a pattern of some kind of either wanting to change or thinking about changing, or you've already changed, and so you wouldn't be watching me. So that's what we're going to talk to you about today. I have a big announcement today as well that I'm super excited to share with you, and then I also am going to do a Q&A at the end of this, which is a little bit different than we normally do, because a lot of times bonjour, good morning. We're going to do a Q&A, which is a little bit different because I hardly ever announce a Q&A. And so we're going to try to move quickly through my top 3 tips today, and then I'm going to share an announcement with you guys as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Let me say hello to a couple of people while we're here. Hi, Estella. Hi, hello, Corrine. Thank you for being live here on Facebook, and whoever else is here, I can't see you, but I see other people are here, so thank you for joining us today. Food denial, I love that. Hello, welcome. Thank you. Hi, Danny. Hello, Chris. It's good to see you. Hi, Chris. The 2 Chris's are here today. Hi, Sarah. Happy Tuesday to you. Dina D's in the house. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday a day late, Dina D. Happy birthday to you. Yesterday was Dina D's birthday. Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for being here. Hello. Hi, Pam. Thank you guys for joining us here. Deborah Ann, it's good to see you. Hi, Susan. Hi, Rory. Rory's the only one on YouTube right now, but hopefully we'll see some people in replay too. So thank you to all the replay viewers. Thank you to all the live viewers, and thank you already for your amazing comments that I know are going to come in today. So, hello, SL63. Watch your language or you get blocked. You will get blocked even for that. You're supporting it. I know. I love it. Thank you, Rory, for supporting that. You get YouTube all to yourself too, which is awesome. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Tobes. It's good to see you guys. Welcome. Yes. Hello. Okay, so let's get this party started in here, and I want to start it off with with introducing myself, so all of this makes sense today, because sometimes it doesn't make sense unless I introduce myself. So my name is Leslie Nance. I'm the host of the show Lunch with Leslie. I do it Tuesday through Friday, triple broadcasting across Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. I come here teaching you how to make your body inhospitable to cancer. I am a 4.5-year cancer survivor. I'm also a certified holistic cancer coach. I am a wannabe chef. We do a lot of food scopes. In fact, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. I'm a wannabe chef. I'm a plant-based eater. I'm a teacher. I'm a spiritual storyteller. And also, to add to the repertoire of things, and here's the big announcement, I am now the host of my own radio show. I'm the host of my own radio show. I had breast cancer. We're going to have a Q&A, so please hold your questions and we'll make sure that we get to all of those. Hi, Tamisha. Thank you for being here with us today. I am the host of my own radio show. It is called The Fork It Over. It starts September 2nd at 9 a.m. That's a Saturday. It'll be a 1-hour show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. It's called Fork It Over. And I will be there at 1310 KFKA on my radio show. It's like for real deal. We're not talking about a podcast. We're not talking about an internet radio show. We're not talking about like anything, I was asked to have my own radio show, which is amazing. I will be in studio at a radio station every Saturday morning, broadcasting my show. So I know, thank you so much. I'm so excited about it. It's super, super exciting. The show is going to be called Fork It Over, and the tagline is dishing out the latest news for your healthy lifestyle. So we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. We're going to be talking about health, wellness. We're going to be talking about mind, body. We're going to be talking about food. We're going to be talking about specific diseases. I'm going to have expert interviews. I'm going to have a lot of local information. So if you are local, thank you. Thank you, Tamisha. Thank you so much. Fork It Over. That's right. Thank you, Chris. Fork It Over Saturdays at 1310 KFKA. Now, the good news about that is that we're going to be live streaming it as well. So you will be able to, yes, you can absolutely tune in from anywhere in the world at 1310kfka.com. You can do it there, or we will be live broadcasting the show too, so you guys won't miss a thing. You'll get to see me in studio, kind of behind the scenes. And then also the other part of that announcement is that my husband, Robin Nance, who we've been trying to figure out how to integrate him into the show a little bit more, because he loves what we're doing at Go-To Kitchens, and he's a big part of it behind the scenes, but we kind of want to bring him to the foreground a little bit, and he's going to actually be not the co-host, but the side. He doesn't want to be called co-host, so don't call him that. He's the sidekick. He's going to be my sidekick in the show, and be in studio with me and help me with interviews and help me with transitions and all that kind of stuff, right? I love that. Oh, really? I did not know that, Deborah Ann. That's very interesting. I did not know that. Deborah Ann is saying that Dr. Josh Axe actually started on the radio in Nashville. So that gives me a lot of hope. So yes. Yeah, right. I'm the fork, he's the spoon. That's right. So yes, the new show is called Fork It Over. And I am. Robin is, that's right. He is the Robin to my Batwoman. That's right. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I'm super excited. Penny Lane is actually going to be joining us in studio too for our radio show. So let me tell you that nothing changes here. We will still, the only thing that changes is that you're going to get an extra broadcast here. You're going to get an extra live stream here from us during the week. So we were thinking about going back to 5 days a week in the fall, where we would do Monday through Friday, but actually our show is going to be Tuesday through Saturday now. So you will be able to watch live streaming from us. It just will be at a different time at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So on Saturday mornings. So super excited about that. We're going to have some really great interviews. And by the way, if you are a brand and you happen to be watching this, we're actually right now contracting with major brands, Natural Grocers starting tomorrow. Natural Grocers, we have other brands like the Valley Fig Growers. We have Stir Sweetener. We're working on several other brands that I can't talk about because we don't have any ink on the contract, but we are in negotiations right now with several other brands to work with us here live on our live streaming show, Lunch with Leslie, and then on our radio show as well. So if anybody knows anybody, send them our way. We would love to have them. They do need to be a health and wellness, right? And Vital Farms, yes, absolutely. Yes. And so super excited. I know. Thank you so much. I'm so exciting. So no more antique shopping. You're right, B. No, He Said Buy It has actually dwindled off. We tried a new concept called He Said Buy It, but it wasn't working for either one of us. And so it was creating too much work. And what we needed to do is integrate something into the work that we're already doing and not have extra work. And so, yes, right? I know. 5 days is plenty enough. I know it's a lot, but it's good. I love being here with you guys. I always can't wait till Tuesday. I can't wait till Tuesday to get here with you. So that's our big announcement. Super excited to share that with you. Tomorrow I am so excited. Tomorrow we are going to be on a field trip, live streaming on a field trip. excuse me, we will actually be on Facebook Live and Periscope tomorrow. We will not be on YouTube tomorrow, but we're going to be on a field trip tomorrow in the Natural Grocers grocery store local here in Fort Collins. Natural Grocers is celebrating its 62nd anniversary or its 62nd birthday, and we're going to be in store tomorrow looking at all the sales and deals that are coming up for the anniversary sale, and then we're actually going to be buying ingredients there for a recipe that we're making on Thursday to help them celebrate. So tomorrow is a big field trip day, so you want to join me. We're going to be live in that Natural Grocers, and I'm super excited about that, right? I know, get your permission slips. Everybody get them signed. We're going on a field trip tomorrow, so make sure that you're joining me tomorrow at noon Mountain Time for that. It's going to be a really, really fun day tomorrow. So today, however, I want to give you some tips. I want to give you I know, so excited about it. I'm totally excited about it. So I want to give you some tips and tricks for today, not tomorrow, for today about maybe you're starting a healthy lifestyle. If you're watching me, you're probably at least contemplating a healthier lifestyle. Right? So if you're watching me, you're definitely information gathering at the very least, or you have already started, or you are in full force. And so I want to, thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. I will say that right now. Lunch with Leslie starts right now. So if you have not shared out, please share out on Periscope. You can share out on Facebook, on Periscope, and on Twitter. I would appreciate that. Thank you for all the hearts and all the shares in advance. You're just getting information. I understand. And on Facebook, you can share out with your community. I would appreciate your shares. You never know who needs this information when you share out. And then on YouTube, you can share everywhere. Everywhere you can share on YouTube. So very good, right? You moved over here. I understand. So thank you guys for my best feature is surviving cancer. That's my very best feature ever, is being a cancer survivor. That is the moniker that I wear the most proud, is to be a cancer survivor. So yes. All right. So my name is Leslie Nance. The website is gotokitchens.com. If you're watching live on Periscope and you're loving this broadcast, I don't know why you would do this right now, but you can. You have the option, if you want to join our VIP community on Periscope, you can actually enter your email address right into the comments. If you enter your email address right into the comments, it actually automatically enters you into our VIP system. So we would love to have you there. You can just enter it right there, right? Never stop learning. That's correct. That's correct. So my friend Dr. Steve Dudley Scott says that he's been on a health journey for quite a while, and he's a medical oncologist, and he always says that he's still very much a student of his own health, and I love that. You see splats on the shelf. There are splats on the shelf behind me. There's all kinds of things behind me. There's a Periscope mug. There's all kinds of books. There's my St. Patrick's Day little hat. You guys can't see it on Periscope, but there is a splat right behind me. You can see it on Facebook. He's looking at me, staring at me. He's always staring at me. All right, so let's get this party started. Lunch with Leslie starts right now. So let's talk about my top 3 tips this is really kind of a personality rundown that I'm about to give you. You're gonna identify probably with one of these types of people that I'm going to describe. And so what the overall umbrella that I want you to grasp from these tips is that I want you to think about releasing negativity about your food journey. So one of the things that was most incapacitating to me when I discovered that I had cancer was that I thought everything that I was eating was going to kill me. And so I had this very real paranoia. I'm sorry, I have to clean my Facebook camera. My Facebook camera is so dirty and it's driving me crazy, so you guys bear with me just a second. It's like disco. Watch, this is going to get so much better right now. Oh my gosh, so much better. It's all fuzzy and weird. It was driving me nuts. So I had to clean it. Yes, I'm that kind of person. Janie makes fun of me because I had to straighten the gecko magnet on my refrigerator one day. So hello, thank you for being here. Thank you everybody for joining, by the way. So the overall concept here is to release the negativity and the fear about your healthy lifestyle. Now, fear comes in many forms. Fear comes in the forms of disbelief. Fear comes in the forms of not having an education. Fear comes in the form of all kinds of things that oppress us and depress us into making certain decisions and certain actions. And probably as a cancer coach, I see this a lot. So I'm a certified holistic cancer coach, and I see this a lot with cancer patients. And they tell me, I did chemotherapy and I shouldn't have done chemotherapy. I knew that I should not have done chemotherapy, that it wasn't the right thing. You have the same problem, right? I understand that it wasn't the right thing for me, but I did it because they told me that I didn't have any other choices. Right? And so your choices get removed from you because you think that you're talking to somebody in authority like your doctor, and you trust them. And when they tell you that it's only chemotherapy and only radiation and only surgery and only these things and all these medications and all these drugs and everything, we trust them because they're doctors. But what you have to understand is that they are falling in under an umbrella of the FDA, which is and the medical boards, which says that you have to treat certain cancers a certain way. There's a standard of care protocol that goes with each one. Now, this is beginning to change. There is a change happening right now. We are in the midst of seeing something fundamentally changing in the medical community. And it all started with the concept of integrative medicine. So when I had cancer almost 5 years ago, right? When I had cancer almost 5 years ago, and I asked the doctor, are there any supplements that I should be taking? Is there any different kinds of foods that I should be eating? And her answer, my first medical oncologist, I actually fired her, right? But my first medical oncologist said, no, there's nothing that you can do. Eat what you want to eat. Live your life like you've normally lived it. And I asked her, I said, but the way that I was normally living my life, I got cancer. So something is not right. A piece of the puzzle is not correct. And so I want to correct that piece of the puzzle. And could it be linked to food? And she definitely told me no. No. She said to me, I remember I was sitting in a parking lot on the phone with her. I had made a decision to put my surgery off until we went on a vacation. I had made a decision to put my surgery off. And so she bluntly told me no, that there was nothing I could do in my diet that would make a difference in my cancer journey. Well, luckily for me, I called BS on that. Sorry for my acronym language, but I called BS on her and I said, that just doesn't make any sense to me. So here, let's fast forward 5 years, right? The same oncologist who I still get emails from, because she has a large practice here, I still get emails from her, and thank goodness, thank you, Lord, thank you, God, thank you, whatever, thank you so much for her change of heart. Because now she's giving webinars and seminars and teaching people integrative practices, which means that she is more in tune with treating the entire body which is holistic. Whether she likes the word or not, it's holistic practices. That's what holistic means, is that we think about the entire body. And so she is giving nutritional seminars, and she's having specialists come in, and she's providing resources to her patients as a group, as a whole, whether they are past patients or current patients. She's providing these resources, and we're seeing a major shift. We are seeing a major shift in our medical communities towards this mindset, especially when we're talking about cancer. Especially when we're talking about cancer, which is amazing. So, whether you again, today I'm going to point out 3 different types of personalities, or not personalities, but 3 different points where you may be in your journey, and see if you identify with any of these thought processes. So the 3 are actually the pre-contemplation, the contemplation, and the action. So most of us in our healthy journey are somewhere in this. We're somewhere in that, the pre-contemplation, the contemplation, and the action. So the characteristics of the person that is pre-contemplating something, right? They're pre-contemplating a healthy lifestyle. They're pre-contemplating, they have cancer, and they're pre-contemplating picking up the phone and calling me and saying, look I want to be part of your cancer coaching program. I would like for you to coach me one-on-one through the process. There is a pre-contemplation going on, right? They've seen my ads. They've watched a couple of my broadcasts. They have seen some of my information, right? Somewhere, somehow, and they are pre-contemplating this. Now, here are the characteristics of pre-contemplation, and that is this. You don't have any current intention to change. There's nothing currently happening in your life where you think that you need or want a change, okay? Even if you've been diagnosed with a disease like cancer, even if you've been diagnosed with, hi Maggie, it's good to see you, with anything like that, you really do not have any current plan to change. You've seen the information, but you have no contemplation to change, or intention to change, excuse me. Maybe you've tried things in the past. Hi, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Maybe you've tried things in the past and they didn't work, right? Maybe you're one of these people, or you've seen somebody try something in the past, right? How many of you haven't known somebody who has died of cancer? This is a tough question, but how many of you have known somebody that has died of cancer? Type in the number 1, or just say me or whatever, right? Most of us have seen or know of somebody who has died of cancer, right? Now then, how many of you have seen somebody die of, right, Rory? Yep. How many of you have seen somebody die of cancer treatments? Right? Scott is saying yes. Yeah, a lot of us. How many of you have seen somebody die of cancer treatments? Right? That's typically the number 1 cause of cancer deaths in the world is actually cancer treatments and not the cancer itself. When we're talking about cancer statistics, it's actually the cancer treatments that spurs something else. Typically, it's malnutrition or pneumonia caused from extended hospital stays. Dehydration is another huge one. Malnutrition is probably the largest. Pneumonia, dehydration, organ failure, renal failure, toxicity overload. The body can't handle it. Medically induced comas that people never wake up from. These are not cancer that's causing this. These are cancer treatments. So we're killing the host along with the cancer. That makes no sense to me. Why would you want to kill the host if you're trying to kill the cancer? Right? Yes, thank you, Chris. No, I'm a certified holistic cancer coach. I would never want to be in the medical bubble. I would never want to be a doctor or a nurse or any type of licensed practitioner, because guess what? I couldn't tell you any of this. My tongue would be tied up with the FDA bow. I wouldn't be able to tell you any of this. So really my superpower is that I don't belong to any of that, right? Do I think that there'll ever be a definite solution for cancer? No, I think as long as there are biological beings on the planet, that there will always be cancer. The idea that cancer will go away and that nobody will suffer from cancer anymore is a ridiculous notion. We live in cellular structures. My tree outside has cellular structure, and as long as it has biological cellular structure, it has a chance to get a malfunction in that cellular structure. And we're biological beings, and so we all have the chance to have a malfunction in our cellular structure. What we want to work on is reducing that chance, right? We want to work on reducing. It's a cell that is actually malfunction. It's a mutated cell. Thank you, Dad. Yes, hi, Dad. It's good to see you. But it's a mutated cell, so that's growing out of control. So our cells have let's just talk about cancer for just a second. Our cells have programmed death. So, right, so you have a little cell and it's like floating around. It looks like this actually, and it has a little nucleus in the middle of it, and it's floating around, right? And before it has a chance to malfunction, it has a programmed death. And so it produces other cells. It gives birth to other cells, and then that cell dies. And a cancer cell is actually a cell that is going along, and it has a malfunction in that apoptosis. It's called apoptosis. It has a cellular function that malfunctions, right? And so it produces all of these other cells, right? It's growing other cells, but this cell never dies. And so then it becomes rampant basically and starts producing cells really, really quickly, really, really fast, regenerating cells. And that's where we get tumors and disruptions and all kinds of things, depending on where it is in the body. That's what's happening when cancer happens, right? You're welcome. And so pre-contemplation, getting back on track here, the other thing that you may be if you're in pre-contemplation is that you are in denial or disbelief. You come to my Periscopes or you come to other wellness professionals and you're like, this is not science-based. This is a bunch of hooey. This is a bunch of blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, it is all science-based. Believe it or not, holistic practices are science-based. They are based on the idea that treating the whole body, cancer is a symptom of something larger going on in the body. Cancer is a symptom of a bigger problem in the body, another type of malfunction. And so if we can put our finger on what that malfunction was and start to heal that, right? And that requires looking at the entire body. That doesn't require just looking at the cancer, right? It requires that we look at the host that is hosting the cancer because there's a malfunction. So when my doctor said to me, there's nothing you can do about your diet that will change what's going on with your cancer, what she should have said, and maybe what she would say today because she's had a big change of heart, right, is this: there's nothing that you can do about your diet right now that might change the active cancer that you have in your body. But if you want to prevent cancer in the future, then we should take a look at what's going on in your diet. Right? Although there are plenty of people that go into spontaneous healing once they actually get their diet and their mindset and their soul and their entire being in check. They go into spontaneous remission, and you can't explain it scientifically, and so people say that it's not true, which is ridiculous. If it happened, it's true. Whether science says it's true or not, it happened. If you're in the pre-contemplation, you might actually be in one of those stages that you never worry about failure because you have no plan to take action, right? This is the beautiful thing about being in pre-contemplation is that you never worry about failure of your food habits because you're not changing. Do you know that I've had people come to me that want cancer coaching and the first thing out of their mouth is, I'm not changing my diet? And you know what the first thing out of my mouth is? I can't help you. If you're not willing to have a look at what's going on in your diet, then I can't help you. You're not afraid of failure because you have no plan to take action. So if failure doesn't scare you just a little bit, you're probably not taking action. Right? That's so applicable in so many things, right? It's because they're still in shock. No, not for the most part. I talk to hundreds of cancer patients a year, and no, not for the most part. It's the disbelief that they have done anything to contribute to their condition, right? Yeah, I was in shock too. That is very fair, actually, Tam Hayes. That is very fair to say that they're in shock. But typically, people don't come to me within the first couple of weeks of being diagnosed. Some people do. They know me, like they know me, and they know my track record, and they're like, The first thing I would do, have people tell me all the time, I hope I never have to talk to you, but if I do talk to you, I mean, if I had cancer, if something happened and I had cancer, you'd be the first person that I came to, right? So some people, yes. But for the most part, they've been on the journey for a little while. Most people have tried other things and unsuccessfully, and then I see them. But you're right. I mean, I'm a cancer survivor. I fully understand the shock and disbelief and anger and everything that comes along with a cancer diagnosis. So yes, but I also have people that have been dealing with active cancer for a while come to me and say, I'm not changing my diet. Don't take my meat away. Don't do this. Don't make me think about, don't take the blinders off. Is basically what they're saying to me is don't take the blinders off. Because if you take the blinders off, then I'm going to be forced to change, right? Because if you tell me that all the red meat that I'm eating, and you show me scientific studies, and you begin to remove those blinders off my eyes, and you show me all the studies that say that red meat has to do with the type of cancer that I have, specifically, and you can prove it to me, then you've removed the blinders, and I'm going to be forced to change. So, pre-contemplation. So guess what? I never throw anything out there and make you go, oh, dang, that is so me. I never do that. I never do that without a strategy for change. So if you want a strategy for change and you are in pre-contemplation about making a change in your life, like you know some of the information, but you don't have any current plans to change. Let me just give you a couple of, or somebody like this. Maybe this isn't you, but you know somebody like this, right? Let me just give you some helpful tips. Some strategies for change is what I'm calling them today. And so number one is helpful encouragement from a trusted source. So is helpful encouragement from a trusted source. So maybe you know somebody like this and you say, hey, I watch this girl, her name's Leslie, you should go watch her because she has some really great ideas about food that may resonate with you. So just a gentle nudge. Or maybe you keep tuning in, maybe this is you specifically, and you keep tuning in over and over again. And you begin to build that trust. I don't expect you to pop in and trust me like from day one, but you begin to build that trust with me and we begin to build a relationship. And so you've found encouragement from a trusted source. So that's the first tip I have for you. The next one is avoid the warrior against pleasure types. How many of you know a warrior against pleasure? Does anybody, especially when it comes to food? Does anybody here know a warrior against pleasure? Like you feel like if they watch you eat, like they're like looking at you like, really, you're going to eat that? But food is pleasure. Everybody like, shut up. Everybody's like, everybody's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. But we all know these types. We all know these types, these warriors against pleasure that have fear tactics to sell you on an idea. This is so not me. And if I ever become this, please tell me. But this is so not me. Food is pleasure. Food is delightful. Food is something that is necessary and pleasurable for the human being. We have to have food to sustain life, but gaining pleasure from it is something that is fundamental in the human being. We use it for community. Food is community. We use it for socialization. We use it to please our taste buds and our minds and our bodies. And so, so food is pleasure. So if I ever come off as a warrior against pleasure, please let me know, because my goal is always to make food pleasurable and accessible, to make a healthy lifestyle accessible to you. That is huge in my priority list. In fact, it's one of my personal stated missions for myself. And my own stated goal is to always make food pleasurable, right? So, right, I love food too. I love food. You know that I do. I love food. So avoid the warrior against pleasure types. Avoid the fear-based tactic types too. The ones that try to scare you into making change. If somebody has scared you into making change, it is not an effective change, and you will go back to your old habits. Now, this is different from somebody who enlightens you. For somebody who's removed the blinders, that's different. I'm talking about the people that say, these are the top 5 foods that cause cancer, right? You'll never see a blog post like that on my website. You won't see it. You won't see, the 6 foods that are blah, blah, blah. You're never going to see that. Right? I know, Scott, they can get pretty fierce. I totally agree with you. And so you're never going to see that if you are in the pre-contemplation, avoid kale kills. That's right. I guess if I had to eat it, I would die. Kale is great, by the way. If you're new to me, kale is awesome. I just personally hate it. I won't eat it. It's awesome for the human body. I just don't like it. So. But avoid those fear-based tactics. Don't be put off. Don't be put off by somebody who's trying to help you. So if you're in that pre-contemplation, don't be put off by somebody who's trying to help you, a friend or a relative or whatever. Don't be put off by that, because they need to. Okay, well, no, that's right. They need to. They may see something in you that you don't see in yourself. They may see a symptom or a change that you are not recognizing in yourself, right? So, no, I'm not. Excuse me for just a second, guys. It's just a little out of whack here, and I'm one of those types that I have to fix it because it drives me crazy if I don't. So, there. Sorry. I had to pop out a camera. I'm back. All right. So the second type of person that is on a healthy food journey is the contemplator, that you are in contemplation. And contemplation is this person, someone that recognizes that they need to change. They recognize that they have a problem and they need to change. They begin to strategize how to change, right? They make all the plans to change, but they haven't changed yet. But they've bought all the materials. They've done all the stuff, right? They've done everything to get ready for the change, but not have pulled the trigger for change. They're seeking all kinds of advice. This is the person that's asking you a million questions, but has made no change whatsoever. These are the contemplators. They normally are somebody who knows that they need to change. They've had a life event. They've had a diagnosis of some kind. They recognize the need for it, but have not pulled the trigger for it. And they've known it for years sometimes, but they've never used the energy or the resources to make the change. We all know somebody like this. I was like this. I know I need to change. When I weighed 200 pounds in my 20s, I knew that it was not great for me to weigh 200 pounds, and I knew that I needed to change, but it took me a little while to actually make the change. I was in contemplation for a long time. I knew pre-diagnosed to cancer that I probably shouldn't be drinking so much Splenda tea. I knew that I probably should be eating more vegetables, but I had not taken the time or the resources to make the change. Now, this is one of the most dangerous places to be. If you are in contemplation, this is one of the most dangerous places to be, and I'll tell you why. There's one reason why, and that's because your body has given you signals that something is wrong. There's hardly ever a contemplator that hasn't had something manifest in their physical body to signal that something is wrong. You should like my blocking finger is what you should like. So it's a dangerous place to be. For me, a couple times in my life, right? Your mom is that person. Yeah. Knows that they need to change, knows that something, knows better, right? But keeps down the same path and hasn't taken the time to make the change. We all know somebody like this, or we're this person. And I've been this person several times in my life, the contemplator. So here's the strategy of success. That's you, right? I know. Thank you for your honesty, by the way. I appreciate that. But here's some strategies for success. So this is for you. Look for a trusted source to get your information from. Look for a trusted source to, right? I understand. Look for a trusted source to get your information from and to give you a jump start, right? Look for somebody who can give you a jump start that you need to make the change. So if you have been watching me for a while and you're ready to, you need something to put you over the edge, to get you out of contemplation and to put you into action, a great place to start with me is the 27-day Real Food Challenge. It's 27dayrealfoodchallenge.com. The number 27day realfoodchallenge.com. It's $27. It's $27. And it's 27 days of getting your brain to think differently about food. And for those of you that have done it, you've seen a significant change in the way that you and your relationship with food. Is the alcohol. That's okay. It's okay. All of these principles still apply. No matter what you're dealing with. It's cheaper than 2 fast food meals. By a long shot. That's right. 27dayrealfoodchallenge.com. You should check it out. It's amazing. It is a great little jump start into getting your mindset to think differently about food. The other thing is to take your time learning about your new skill sets, because a lot of people get super rushed. They get super rushed into an idea of doing something different, and they want results like yesterday. They want results without doing anything, and that's not very effective, obviously. And so take your time learning your new skill sets. That's going to be very important. Excuse me while I steal a drink real quick. Sorry, just needed a drink of water. Find somebody to assist you. If you are in the contemplative stage, find somebody to personally assist you, right? Find somebody that can help you personally. Not like for me, I'm a certified holistic cancer coach. I do one-on-one sessions with people almost every day. Actually, Tuesday through Friday are my schedule for that. Almost every single day, I have 1 or 2 people that I talk to about their cancer journey, and we are formulating plans for change. And so finding somebody to help you. If you're interested in that, by the way, you can go to bit.ly, bit.ly/cancerhatesit. If you go there, you can sign up. You can read about the program, and you can sign up right there for a free 15-minute consultation, right? So there you go. I'm advertising myself. Well, I'm advertising myself. Yes, I am. You're right. No, you're right. I am. I would like for people to know that there are resources available to help them through their difficulties. Yeah. But I'm also giving away a lot of free content as well. So there you go. All right. So yes, and it can't, not just me. There are tons of professionals out there. Find somebody to resonate, that resonates with you. Find somebody that you feel like that is trusted and that you can trust. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. If you feel like you can trust them, it's important. I do a 12-hour fast every single day. Yes, I only eat 12 hours a day. The rest of the 12 hours of the day are off limits. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So that's my resources for the contemplator. Let's go to the action and then we'll go to the Q&A. So one more and then we're going to have a Q&A. So the third person is the person who is taking action. This is the person that is out of pre-contemplation. Thank you, Scott. That is out of contemplation, out of pre-contemplation, and is taking action. Unfortunately, there's a pitfall with the action taker, and the action taker sometimes bypasses all the contemplation, doesn't even think about what they're doing, and gets on a bandwagon, right? They jump on a bandwagon, and they're like, "Yay! I'm gonna be vegan. Today I'm gonna be vegan, or I'm doing paleo, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. I'm doing this." And these types of action takers that make a quick decision to make change are often met with failure, right? They're often met with failure. And so there's a pitfall with the action taking as well. So some contemplation is good. Some pre-contemplation is good, right? But jumping into something that you know nothing about can be very dangerous. I have seen people who have decided to go all vegan with no coaching whatsoever. They end up in the hospital. They end up sick. They end up malnourished. They end up all kinds of things, right? Without any pre-contemplation or any planning of what happens next in their lives. So that can be dangerous as well. So here's what the action taker, here's the characteristics of the action taker. Beginning to follow an action plan, a plan of action, has hired someone to help them, has actually employed someone to help them through their journey, has been preparing mind, body, and spirit. So they have been contemplating this for a while, and have been making plans. This is a successful action taker. They have found social support somewhere, like in our VIP community. Oh my gosh, I'm advertising again. Our VIP community. So if you join us, if you type in your email address right here in the Periscope broadcast, if you just type in your email address into the Periscope broadcast, just the email, you actually get automatically entered into our VIP community. So if you've been looking for a place to plug in, it's a great place to do that. We have so much fun. We have recipes and photos. It's like the only place that you can leave all your healthy food photos and everybody thinks that it's completely normal. We are like, yeah, show us more healthy food photos, right? It's an encouragement. And that's what the group is. That's what the community is. It's not all about me. It is all about us, right? And it's gluten-free too. That's exactly right, Chris. You're exactly right. So all you have to do is enter your email address here on Periscope. So your broadcasts keep you focused. I love that. I love that. So, but yeah, so you can just enter your email address and be entered in that automatically. What else is going on? They found a community to plug into, and they've given their future actions much thought. So a successful action taker has a plan of action, and they begin to follow it. They have hired someone to help them. Not always, but a lot of times they've hired someone to help them, or have found somebody who encourages them and helps them. They have been preparing mind, body, and soul for a while. They've been in contemplation for a long time, right? And then they found social support, and then they've given their future actions a lot of thought and contemplation about what happens in the future and how they maintain and progress through this, right? So it's not just a knee-jerk reaction to something. There has been given much thought and ideas about how to proceed with this. So strategies for change and success here is one of the biggest things if you're an action taker is to tell everybody what you're doing. Tell everybody what you're doing. So this is what I'm doing. Make an announcement. Make an announcement that says, I'm doing this. I am going vegan. I am slowly transitioning and I'm going vegan. I'm slowly transitioning and I'm going plant-based. I'm slowly transitioning and I'm going to go on a keto diet, which I don't recommend. I'm slowly transitioning and I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. I'm not drinking soda anymore. Whatever it is, make an announcement so people around you know, and then you have automatic accountability. So when you start to drink a soda and your best friend looks at you and says, I thought you weren't going to drink soda anymore. You're like, busted. right? I'll talk about that in just a second. Right? Rory's saying she's just the opposite. She tells everybody, and everybody's like scratching their head like, what? What are you doing? We'll talk about that in just a second. Find a partner. Successful action takers have a community. They have partners. They have people that support them and love them through their process. They get rid of the Debbie Downers, and they don't talk about it. So if you've got somebody, if you're on a specific plant-based eating structure, which is what I promote, a plant-based eating structure, and your best friend thinks it's a bunch of hooey-pooey, don't talk to her about it. She will discourage you. It's not that you don't have to talk to your best friend. Just don't talk to her about your diet. Find somebody that is supportive and is loving and is caring, is understanding. That's another great thing about our community, is that you're never alone in your journey. You're never alone in your journey in our community at Go-To Kitchens. Eliminate the obstacles from your path. So a good action taker, somebody who's a successful action taker, doesn't keep diet soda in the house if diet soda is the problem, right? They don't keep cookies and Oreos and all of these things that are their pitfalls. They don't keep them in the house. My pitfall is ice cream. I love ice cream and pizza. But I don't keep it in the house, because guess what? Even if it's nice cream, I will eat it. I will eat it. So remove the obstacles out of your path. Right? How about seeing my blocking finger? Would you like to see that? Because you just did, right? Remove the obstacles out of your path. The obvious obstacles that are movable, move them out of your path. Successful action taker. And then, of course, the social support we already touched on a little bit. And then set realistic goals for yourself. So get ready with your typing fingers. If you have questions for me, please do this for me right now, because we're going to go to the Q&A in just a second. I'm just preparing you. So if you will copy your question, if you have a specific question, if you will type it out, hit copy, and be prepared to send it a couple of times, because when we do Q&A sometimes, thank you for the super hearts. I appreciate that, Katie. But if you do that a couple of times, I'm not eating a bunch of banana ice cream. I could eat it all day long. I'm telling you, I would eat it all day long. I remove those obstacles out of my life, right? So copy and get ready to copy. Hi, it's good to see you, Stacy. Is Olivia there with you? I got a message from Olivia. I'm so sad. But anyway, I understand too, so I totally gets it. Yeah. So copy and paste it so that we can go through the Q&A, and you make sure that I will try to get to as many questions as possible. But the last tip that I have for the action taker is set realistic goals, right? When I weighed 200 pounds, I didn't think that I was going to lose that weight in a month. Right? I didn't think I was going to get back down to my 130, 140. This was in my 20s, so I weighed about 130 naturally then. I didn't think I was going to get back down to 130 pounds in a month. I had to set realistic goals for myself. So if you are transitioning out of a dairy, meat, grain diet, a traditional SAD diet, into a plant-based diet, set realistic goals for yourself. So say, I'm going to go 20% plant-based. This month, we're going 20% plant-based. Then the next month, you can say, all right, we're going 50% plant-based, right? And now I'm going to add some raw food to that. So setting realistic goals for yourself. I hate kale. I am not going to make myself eat kale. I have no goal to eat it because I don't like it. So don't pressure yourself to do something because somebody else says that it's healthy, right? Because if you don't like it, it's not sustainable. So an action taker actually sets realistic goals. A successful action taker actually sets realistic goals for themselves. So let me go through that one more time. Publicly sharing. A successful action taker will publicly share what's going on, what they're changing, and why they're changing with people who support them. They will find a partner or a community to plug into to help them in the journey. They will eliminate obstacles out of their path, and they will set realistic goals for themselves, right? Okay, so Now's the time that we have about 15, I'm gonna take about 15 minutes here, and we're gonna just do completely Q&A. And so the first question I see that pops right in front of me is, how do I get healthy protein if I cannot, plant-based protein, I'm guessing you're asking, if I can't eat nuts? Well, nuts do have protein in them, but seeds also have protein. So hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, all of those types of seeds, sunflower seeds, all have healthy fats and proteins in them. Also, beans and legumes are going to have your healthiest source of complete proteins in them. And I would also say that sometimes if it's a new nut allergy, honestly, if it's a new nut allergy, and it's not life-threatening, but it like upsets your stomach, it doesn't give you anaphylactic shock or anything like that, but it's like a gut issue, I would try eating them raw and then crushing them up, right? What if you are allergic to asparagus and other foods that are similar? So I have a list of vegetables that is almost 2 pages long. Anybody who's in my cancer coaching gets this list, by the way. And so I have a list of vegetables of things that cancer hates that's almost 2 pages long. And so there are foods that I don't like. I'm not really fond of beets. I don't like beets. I don't like kale. I'm not a huge fan of, what else do I not like? Actually, I've learned to eat most things. So there are tons of foods out there. It's good that you've identified that you don't like those foods or you can't eat those foods. It's not that I don't eat them. I just don't eat them very often. So yes, yeah. Over on Facebook, Karina's asking about chocolate. So dark chocolate is absolutely acceptable. You want to find one that has the lowest sugar content possible, and it needs to be at least 70% cacao if you want the healthy benefits from it. Milk chocolate, avoid. Too much sugar, too much junk, too much processing. Dark cacao chocolate is actually amazing for you and is probably one of the biggest antioxidant foods on the planet. And so chocolate is fine in moderation, of course, because there's sugar in it. If you're eating anything, even dark cacao chocolate is going to have sugar, but lowest sugar content possible. My favorite thing to sweeten it up a little bit is to pair it with a dried fruit. So my favorite snack, I eat it almost every single day, is just 2 little pieces. They're like this big. They're like this big. Honestly, they're about quarter size. 2 pieces of dark chocolate and some dried cranberries. Organic cranberries. That is one of my favorite snacks on the planet. And so I actually eat chocolate every single day. So dark cacao, full of antioxidants and super good for you. Do I encourage weekly meal planning? Absolutely. I will answer your keto diet. Yes, let's get back to that. Absolutely. I encourage meal planning 100%. Meal planning is one of the steps to success when we're talking of, especially when you're adopting a new healthy lifestyle. So knowing what you're going to eat keeps you out of the path of obstacles, right? So if you don't know what you're going to eat, so it's Tuesday, right? And you have no idea what you're going to eat today, then the temptation to step outside of your diet or your structured eating plan is very easy to do. And so I 100% recommend knowing what you're going to eat every single day, as best as possible. At least dinner. I mean, breakfast, you know, we tend to eat, as Americans, well, just as humans in general, we tend to eat the same thing over and over again. Lunch can be a little disruptive if you work away from home, which I haven't done in so long, but I still always took my own lunch with me. And then, but dinner for sure, making sure that you're getting all of that balanced nutrition. So let's talk about the keto diet. The keto diet is, long term, and I know this is not a popular, especially if you're a big keto fan and you're taking all the keto, putting your body in ketosis and all the things that come along with that. You guys should watch Dr. G. He talks about this quite a bit. The keto diet was designed for healing something in the body that's awry, mostly in metabolic diseases, and for short-term use. It was never designed as a lifestyle, ever. If you go back to the roots of ketogenic diet, it was never designed as a lifestyle. It was designed as for athletes, actually, in some cases, and for people that were healing metabolic disease and for short-term use. So let's say you're going on vacation and you want to look great and you want to lose some body fat in that, and wear that bikini or whatever. Doing a keto diet 3 weeks before you go on vacation for 3 weeks is really going to make a big difference. You may not lose any weight, but you're going to see a big difference in your body. And the illusion that thin and fit is healthy has overpowered our sensibility, in my opinion. I know tons of people that are fit that are not healthy. I know a lot of people that are complete gym rats, and I'm not me, but they will say I'm a gym rat, and they have muscles and they are thin and they can kick my butt in anything that we do, but they are not healthy. Their body is in emergency mode all the time because it's always trying to heal from the stress that they're putting on their body. And the ketogenic diet is one of those things, in my opinion. The ketogenic diet attacks large organs in our bodies. Ketosis is not normal. It is not homeostasis. Is it okay temporarily? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're trying to achieve a fitness or a weight loss goal, it's perfect for that. But it has overridden our sensibilities, in my opinion. And all of these drinks and all of these things that people, and drugs, not drugs, but supplements that they're taking to put their body in ketosis is dangerous, and I will not back down from that. I will not. No matter how unpopular it is, I will not back down from that. So there it is. I'd rather have a little bit of a muffin top than put my body in emergency mode in ketosis. So there you go. Sorry. Oh, it's good to see you, Patricia. I'm so excited you have your grandbabies. I know it's been a highlight for you, right? There you go. You like muffins? Chris. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. All right. So, all right, more questions. We got about 8 minutes left. Anybody have any questions for me? Right? Yeah. How do you navigate the maze of vitamins and supplements? I don't. I'm going to give you an example of this. This is a great example. I'm not going to name names here, but I was just coaching someone, actually 2 people last week. This happened twice last week. And when I coach somebody, we do a huge intake. And so I'm a certified holistic cancer coach. If you're just joining me and you don't know who I am, my name is Leslie Nance. The website is GoToKitchens.com, and I'm a certified holistic cancer coach and a 4.5-year cancer survivor. And 2 people last week, I was coaching them, and we do this huge intake. We have a 2-hour session where I ask you tons of questions. Like, I'm sure by the end of the 2 hours, I know I'm exhausted after the intake, and I know that other people are exhausted after the intake because we bring up a lot of emotion. We bring up lifestyle. I mean, there's so much that we get down and dirty with. I mean, we get down to the thing, right, of what's going on. And so, but then we have more discoverability throughout our sessions. And so last week I had 2 people, and I never ask what supplements. I never ask that question because it doesn't matter to me really, unless we have an ongoing problem that we can't figure out what the root is. 2 times last week, I was talking to someone, 2 different people in the vitamins and supplements. One of them taking vitamin C and having tons of gut disruptions, having problems with digestion and things that, it was to a point where it is disruptive to their lifestyle, to where we're seeking out if there is, do you have colitis? Do you have, trying to discover what's going on. And the vitamin C is actually very disruptive in the gut. And high doses of vitamin C, unless regulated or coming in intravenously, can be very disruptive to the gut health. And so I did not suggest coming off, but one of them came off of the vitamin C, came off the vitamin C and noticed an immediate change and digestion. I mean, can feel the difference within a couple of days. So vitamin C is great short term in high doses for immune boosting, but not long term. It can be very disruptive, and it can cause bloody stool, and it can cause gastroenteritis, which is a disruption in the gut that causes bloating and gas, and oh my gosh. And so if you're getting a whole lot in your foods and you're taking a supplement, you can't OD on vitamin C because it's a water soluble vitamin, but yeah, so that was one example. The other example was vitamin E, actually, suffering from constipation. Even after we have been doing all of this, stuff to get the digestive system to work, I asked the question, finally, I said, tell me about this. Are you taking any supplements? And he says to me, yes, I take vitamin E, which he heard was great for prostate health and, good for the type of cancer that he has. And something else, a multivitamin that also had vitamin E in it. And I was like, oh my God, you're ODing on vitamin E. Stop. Now, I haven't had another session with him. It's actually tomorrow, so I don't know if we've seen a change, and I don't think we'd see one that quickly, but I actually did tell him to stop the vitamin E. He was overdosing on the vitamin E. So the original question was, how do you navigate all the supplements and vitamins? And the answer is, I do not. I am not big on supplements. Unless you are under the care of a naturopathic or functional medicine doctor, I highly recommend you stay out of the supplement aisle. Or you're treating something temporarily, right? There are a couple of safe supplements that anybody and everyone should probably take if they're not getting it in their diet. Those supplements would be two things. High-grade fish oil, right? Nope, no daily vitamin for me. I get it in my food. I make an effort. I think people use them as a crutch as well. Like they think they don't have to eat well if they've taken a daily vitamin, right? But really, you're just peeing most of it out, honestly. You're eliminating most of it out. And number two would be the fish oil would be a high-grade fish oil, not a cheap one that you're buying at Walmart or Walgreens or something like that, but a really, really clean source. Do you hear Penny? There must be a dog in the backyard. She's like acting crazy. And number two is a probiotic. I do highly recommend a good high-grade probiotic. A really, really good probiotic should be refrigerated, honestly, because that means the cultures are alive. If it's not refrigerated, they've been dehydrated, and you're working on your body to rehydrate them and reactivate them, which is a whole nother process. And so refrigerated probiotics are the best, and actually the best way to get probiotics is in fermented foods, quite frankly, right? I do accept one-on-one non-cancer clients, Chris, especially right now. I try to limit myself to, it was 4 people, but I've opened up more hours for it. So it's 6 people. And right now I have 4 people in my program. So, yeah. Yeah, so supplementing is great if you're trying to get rid of a cold. Zinc, vitamin C, echinacea, golden seal, elderberry, all of those things are awesome for healing something temporarily. I actually was on several supplements, a magnesium. I was on magnesium for about 1.5 years. Trying to regulate my my bowel movements, which worked like a charm. And once my body got used to it and I was eating better, it naturally regulated itself. And then I was also on a supplement called DEM, which was to help regulate my estrogen metabolization. But I was under the care of a naturopath for that. I was not going to the vitamin counter or the vitamin aisles and going, oh, I heard this was good for me, and started taking it. That is dangerous. It is dangerous. The interactions between the supplements can be dangerous. They're not regulated by anyone. There's no path. You should have a professional help you with that. I am not that person, by the way, right? Okay. So Scott has a question over here. I hope I answered your question, by the way. Scott has a question over here. I've wondered about long-term juicing smoothies. It seems like a short-term diet too. So that's very interesting. I buck a lot against trends. I do. I know that I do. I buck a lot against trends and ideas and theories and, you know, things that don't make sense, like are not logical, right? I wish you would too, right? You should eat something with plants in it, Erin. Hi, Erin. It's good to see you. So I'm going to say the same thing about juicing and smoothies, Scott. This is on Facebook. The question came in from Facebook. I'm going to say the same thing about juices and smoothies that I say about supplementing, and that is people use them as a crutch. How many of you, now you don't have to fess up if you want to, but you know who you are. You know who you are. You don't have to fess up. But how many of you have a smoothie for breakfast or a juice at some point during the day, like a fresh juice, and you think, I've eaten well today. I can eat anything I want. I ate good today. I was good today. I was good today, and I can eat anything I want. Wrong. 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 If you're trying to heal something, now sometimes when I'm working with, there are exceptions to all of these rules. When I'm working with somebody who has digestive issues, sometimes it's a chewing problem, and smoothies are the best way, Scott, to get those plant-based nutrition in because they're not able to chew them well. So smoothies are great for that. So there's exceptions to those rules, right? And so juicing, if we're trying to heal something, we use juicing as a supplement. We don't do it as a meal replacement. We don't do it as how we get our nutrients, but we use it as a nutrient boost, as a supplement boost to that healthy lifestyle and plant-based eating that we are trying to accomplish, right? You never use it as a meal. I like that. Yes, absolutely. So we use it as a supplement. It's actually one of the best. If we're going to supplement with some green juice. Never juice your fruits, by the way. What's your take on companies like Plexus? Oh boy, you just really want me to like, boy. Nothing's wrong with that. It's just you don't use it as a crutch is my biggest point. Smoothies are awesome. I have a smoothie probably 3 or 4 times a week throughout the day for for breakfast or a snack. I use it a lot for my evening snack. I make it, it's like a malt or something, you know, but it's all plant-based goodness and lots of nuts and fats and things like that. So, but I don't use them as a meal. Like I hardly ever use that as a meal replacement. This is tough. I have a lot of people who follow me who are Plexus and Avocare and Herbalife and what's the other ones? Amways and Juice Plus, and I have a lot of people, doTERRA, that follow me. My biggest advice for that is to just go in suspicious. But do your research, understand what you're getting into. There is no silver bullet. You cannot take a pill and block the fat in your body. And if you're taking a pill to block fat in your body, it is dangerous. You're changing the way your body works metabolically, and that's dangerous in my opinion. There is no quick fix. You can't behave badly and drink something and think that everything is solved, right? It's just not happening. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Just do your homework. Do your homework. Thoughts on cinnamon as a fat burner? I think cinnamon's amazing. I don't think you should eat it thinking you're going to burn a bunch of fat. But cinnamon is amazing. It's full of antioxidants. It's great for your digestive system. That's why people think it's good as a fat burner. It's great for your digestive system. It's probably one of our healthiest spices on the planet. Besides, I think probably turmeric would be the healthiest, but it's ginger is really good for you too. Okay, there's a lot. Never mind. Garlic, all really good for you. Most herbs and spices are amazing for the human body, and our taste buds. And I think that one of my favorite things about cinnamon is that it's one of the best faker outers on the planet. It's good for the blood sugar. That's right. It's good as an anti-inflammatory. You're all right. All of those things are correct. But it's the best faker outer on the planet, right? So you can use half as much sugar and use a little cinnamon with it, and it's going to taste sweeter automatically. Cinnamon is one of those things that actually does not taste sweet on our tongue, but it triggers a pleasure sensation in our brains, an endorphin in the brain that says, this is good and I like it and I want more. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, amazing for that. Somebody said ginger, yuck. It's okay. You don't have to like ginger. I don't like kale. Right? It is it's one of the best sweet fake outs in the world, and it's good for you, right? Is only eating once a day bad? Yes, it's very bad, actually. It's eating once a day is not good for you. Somebody asked about fasting. Let's go back to that, actually. Somebody asked me about fasting, what I do for fasting, and I said that I fast 12 hours a day. So I do. If I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, I will not eat again until 8 o'clock the next morning. So I have 12 hours of fasting, and I'm going to tell you the principles behind this. This is actually one of my favorite tips and tricks on the planet. So if you don't want to change the way that you eat, if you don't want to change the way that your thought process is about eating more plants and less meat and less dairy and all of that, the one change that you can make today, you can do this change today. You can start today, is a 12-hour fast. And the best time to do a 12-hour fast is when you're sleeping, and I'm going to tell you why. And so using a window, 14 hours is best, actually. If you can tack on just 2 more hours, it's actually better. So stop eating at 6 and don't eat until 8 the next morning. That is even better for the body, and I'm going to tell you why and why it's best to let that happen overnight. You hear a lot of people say don't eat at night because you're going to gain weight when you eat at night. You know, your food sticks around longer, and they're absolutely right on a couple of principles. So let me back up and say what happens when we sleep at night. This is actually going to be my last question for today because I am over my time already. So this is the last question I'm going to answer. So, but when we sleep at night, it's our healing period. This is why sleep is it's one of the 5 pillars of our health is sleeping, right? And so when we sleep at night, we take a chunk of time to shut our bodies down. And the only thing that's happening in our bodies are the necessities: breathing, circulation, repair is happening. And this is when we repair our bodies. And that's actually the thing that I want to focus on the most, is that our body shuts down all the other processes, right? Our brain is active because we're dreaming and we're thinking and, things like that. But our eye movement, our body movement, our muscular movement, all of that shuts down. And so it's a time in our body when we are healing, and we do our best healing when we are at rest. So when we go to sleep at night, if we have eaten something an hour, 2 hours, really, honestly, 2 hours before we go to bed, guess what happens? Your body's focused on digestion. And so its main priority, instead of healing, it's focused on digestion, and it will focus on that for 2 to 3 to 4 hours, depending on your personal metabolic state, right? And how your metabolism works. It will focus on that for a long period of time. So if we eat and go to bed, even if it's just a Hershey Kiss, right? If we eat that, I don't even know why I said that, but anyway, if we eat that and then go to bed very rapidly after that, then our body's focused on that digestion. It will give priority to that digestion. And so it's not giving priority to the healing in the body. And this is why sleep is so important. It's so important that we have a fast, right? That we have a fasting period in our body. So if we don't eat 2 hours before we go to bed, that's really the perfect window. 2 hours before we go to bed, Then we go to bed. We give our bodies the best rest and the best healing possible in that window. We sleep for 7 to 9 hours. That's the perfect window as well. 7 to 9 hours, depending on who you are and your type of personality and your type of habits. 7 to 9 hours is the perfect window. Too less is 6 hours, and too much would be 10 hours, right? We get out of our circadian rhythm when we sleep like 10 hours or less than 6. We actually mess up our circadian rhythm, even if it's temporary, right? Even if you're out partying and you only get 4 hours of sleep, you're messing up your circadian rhythm, which is a problem in the healing. And so cancer patients in particular need that long window of sleep. It's really, really good for the healing of the body and the body focusing on the cancer. And so we have that sleep window where our body is focused on regeneration, cellular regeneration, muscular regeneration, hair growth, nail growth, skin regeneration, thought process clearing, processing of the mind, processing content out, all that kind of stuff is happening while we're sleeping. Then we wake up and we wait another hour or two before we eat. We've woken up the body. Usually it's about an hour. We've woken up the body. We drink a glass of water. So we break the fast with a glass of water, get that metabolism going. Then we eat. Then we have that 12-hour window of healing that is happening in the body. And it's an amazing thing that you can incorporate today. And in 2 weeks, you will start to see a difference. You'll start to see a difference in your quality of sleep. You will start to see a difference in how fast you're regenerating from workouts. You'll start to see a difference in the things that the types of, and when you crave food. Yeah. And start your day with water, right? Yeah, and that can be a huge contributor. And sometimes there are lots of reasons we don't sleep, right? I can list 1,000 things of reasons why we don't sleep. And so your number one thing of probably is controlling pain. So controlling the arthritic pain to be able to sleep would be very important for you. Yeah. All right, so that's my last question. I actually went 10 minutes over what I wanted to today, but that's okay. Tomorrow is a big day. I do have lots of energy. I do. Especially, yes, as hard as we work around here, we both have lots of energy. I fall into bed at night. I won't lie to you. When I lay down to sleep, I'm usually reading a textbook or I try to plan like 30 minutes of sleep. 30 minutes of downtime, no electronics, no nothing. But I read. That's my sleep aid. And so, there are no electronics in our bedroom, no TV, no iPads, no cell phones, no nothing like that. It's not allowed in our bedroom. And so we both have that rule. It's just not my rule. It's our rule. Because that's a time for downtime. That's a time for romance. That's the time for being with one another. It's a time for education. I actually read a lot at night. I try to read at least an hour to 2 hours a day and half hour before I go to bed. And so, but I read, but sometimes I plan to read like half hour and I can't. I'm like, I fall into bed at night. So, right? You speed read at night. I wish I could speed read. I can't speed read anything, anytime, anywhere. My dyslexia doesn't help me with that. So, so there you go. Tomorrow we're going to be at Natural Grocers. We're going on a field trip tomorrow. We're celebrating Natural Grocers' 62nd anniversary. Can you imagine in 1955? When in the height of TV dinners, in the height of all of these things, mostly educational, no fiction. I wish I had time for fiction. I don't. Sometimes I read autobiographies and biographies and business books, but mostly it's educational for teaching you guys. Yeah, so. Everything that I do comes at the cost of education for me. I want to be educated and give you the right information when I come to see you here. So yes. So, but we have, tomorrow, but can you imagine 1955 having a natural grocery type organization? I just can't imagine the guts that it took to do that. Then going through the 60s, through the fast food generation, the 80s, the major fast food generation, when we started seeing all of these fast food brands popping up and food becoming convenient instead of healthy or good for us. Food became very convenient in the 80s. And then in the 90s, when we just didn't care. And then into the 2000s, where we started caring again and seeing that there's a relationship between our eating lifestyles and our health. When we started realizing that in the 2000s again as a generation and a community, and they have stood through every step of that way. They have been around, and it's amazing. And so I'm so honored to be working with them tomorrow. They're actually sponsoring our show tomorrow. Lunch with Leslie is sponsored tomorrow, and on Thursday as well. So tomorrow we're going to go into the store and shop for ingredients to make these wholesome peanut butter brownies. We're actually going to make the brownies on the anniversary on Thursday to celebrate with them, but we'll be in store tomorrow. So I wish you had them too. They're so amazing. They're working on it. Trust me. Trust me, they're working on it, getting them everywhere. So yes, so that's what's going on tomorrow. I'm super excited. Bye, sleep well. So I'm super excited to be with you guys tomorrow in store. So please join me. My name is Leslie Nance. You've been watching Lunch with Leslie. I do this broadcast every Tuesday through Friday. I'm here teaching you how to make your body inhospitable to cancer. I'm a certified holistic cancer coach and a food blogger and a recipe developer and a writer, and now the host of my own radio show, Fork It Over, that you can find on 1310 KFKA starting September 2nd at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. We will be there, and so we're going to be talking about all the healthy news there. So if you want that information, go check it out. Butter, no, butter's high on my list. I love butter. Butter's amazing. Grass-fed butter has CLAs in it, which is a cancer buster. No sugar, no flour, kind of, pretty much, yeah. Yes, have a great day and great night, everybody. Love you guys so much. Thank you for all the hearts, all the shares. Thank you for being here live with me today. As always, I learned something. I hope that you learned something today, and and I hope that you have an amazing day today. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much, Wayne. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Periscope. We're going to say bye one at a time. Periscope is last, so if you guys want to hang out while I say bye to these other, we'll be here alone. Bye, YouTube. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I look up when I talk, but hopefully you got some good information here today. Thank you for watching the replay here on YouTube. Bye.